Good evening, everybody. I'm just going to quickly share this, so I may pause for a few seconds. Hi to whoever's already joined. I do apologise that I've not seen who it is. I do apologise. I'm just sharing this out. And once I have, I'm just going to tell you why I'm obviously talking about the Jacob Crouch case as well. But I'm going to go through fully what's happened to this little boy, which is horrific. It's awful. Huge trigger warnings all over this as well. It was actually a special request by somebody too, and now for whatever reason, there they are. Hi, Michael. I hope you're well, or Mikey as you're known on your handle. So this is the Jacob Crouch case. And I was asked especially if I could talk about this. They know that I have been live about this before. And I've obviously done videos on this previously too. This case is very close to my chest, like massively. No, I never, but I know a lot about this. I have been obviously been given permission to say a couple of things I'm going to say on live as well. When I first ever covered this case, way back when they were sentenced, I was so angry about the horribly menial sentence that Jim had got. I was so angry, and I come on live and I was talking about it, and it just so happened, and I know I'm allowed to say this, hey Adele, and I Void, I know I'm allowed to say this because he's happy for that I do, because he likes the way that I share his son's case as well. So the biological father actually popped into the live at that night that I first started talking about this. So that's annoying. It just must be a weird glitch. I'm glad that I've got the little group chat that I can share it, but it's just one of those things, unfortunately. So back when I first spoke, now I was at the time when I first shared this, thank you so much for the heart. When this story, I never had a good evening storm. I never had the follows that I do now, obviously. And it just so happens that Andy, Jacob's biological father, had been scrolling the For You page and came across my live, and I was talking about his son. And he popped up a little message in the live to say that it was indeed, it was his son. Thank you so much for the heart, me, brummy mummy. And he knows about this. But obviously at the time I was kind of a bit like, do we believe this? Because we are aware that there is people that do go into the lives, and for true crime lives, that say that they are family members, etc. But it's very difficult to verify that at the time when we're obviously talking about this. But my amazing mod, my OG mod, Esther, she had confirmed that it was. Thank you so much for the heart, me, Adele. That's not true. I am going to discuss why I'm going live about this, but that's not true. She is currently still incarcerated. Now, Jacob's dad, Andy, it was confirmed whilst I was live, it was indeed. And then I spoke directly to him down the camera. And said that he had 28 days to appeal her sentence. And if there was anything that I could do for him, and that would be sharing petitions or anything at all, that I most certainly would. And so when I was going live, and I went live quite consistently as well about this, and every time that I would come in live, I was sharing about the fact that I had at the time I had the petition in my link tree, and that it was one of those things. Once it goes to the appeal part with the CPS, they have to make a decision if the judicial system was correct, if the sentence was too lenient. And then we got some amazing news that the petitions had helped and that it was going to go towards the review. However, unfortunately, the review never extended the sentence for neither Gemma nor Craig. The judge had actually said that he did not believe that Gemma would be violent. Now, there's going to be people here going, well, why are you sharing this story again, etc. Now, the reason that I'm sharing this story again is Andy actually so happened to pop up into my live and said that he had something that he wanted to talk to me about. Because of what I was talking about, I just asked him at the time for it not to be shared here. So I dropped him a wee message after the live to say that I was really sorry. I didn't think that I'm going to get to that, Adele, I promise. I didn't think that it was appropriate that I obviously discussed Jacob when I was talking about other people, and I didn't want to think that I was being rude, and he appreciated that, knew that I was busy. And what he actually told me is, thank you so much for the follow, Kelly. What he actually told me was, and which he gave me explicit permission to actually share this as well, was the fact that there is a possibility that Gemma may get an early release. Now, she got a sentence of 10 years, which in my eyes was much too small, considering she knew what was going on with Jacob and she chose not to protect him as well. And it was lenient. She was told that she would serve 5. And then that was brought down to the fact that she would most likely only be serving 4. But there is obviously a special review that she falls under the category of the special review for earlier release, and she will also be given a license for 5 years. Now, I'm appalled and utterly disgusted by this. It's not confirmed if she is actually going to get out, but if she does get released, she'll be released as early as December. And she was sentenced in August 2023. It's a medial sentence. She is young enough to be able to go. Thank you so much for the follow. Viva, Gigi, and of course Mackie as well. It's appreciated. Now, I shared this story back then, and I'm going to share it with you all again. There's going to be some that I'm taking from the notes that I have had for a while. I'm going to play the 999 call for you all, so you can actually hear the 999 call. And because there's a lot more detail in regards to what Jacob's injuries, etc., was, although I knew a majority of them, and also the fact that that his actual injury that killed him was savable, that he could have survived that if they had got medical attention. I'll be reading that from the computer, and I'll go into as much detail as I can. I am on an over 18. It does this whole thing comes with a massive trigger warning. I'm not going to sugarcoat this in the slightest. It really does come with a huge trigger warning in regards to what happened to baby Jacob. But yeah, so that's why I am sharing this story, because I really want people to realise what Gemma allowed to happen. Yeah, she may possibly be out in a couple of months' time, and she did not serve her time for what happened to her little boy at all. And I say this every single time, like, and I'll say this again, any words that I share in regards to that comes from Andy, I have been told that I am allowed to share this. He has given me permission. And obviously to say that I'm going to mention his name anyway. And Andy is happy for me to discuss this, so it's not like I'm doing this behind the family member's back. So before any of the trolls do come in and say, why are you talking about this? What about the family? Andy is happy for me covering his case. his son's case. He has always said that I remained respectful throughout because the focus of attention will always and forever be on little Jacob. It'll not be on the two monsters, which is why they are not shown in this picture at all. I will not share their picture here because, yeah, they don't deserve to be shown. The one, thank you so much for the follow, it's your girl Ems. The one that deserves to be shown is little Jacob, so he will remain on the screen. Unfortunately, I don't think that the letter that I had is allowing me to share that was pinned to the door for the neighbours, but because you know it's the picture size. Oh no, I can, sorry, it does come up. It never came up. Oh, that was a bit stupid of me, that fact that I managed to take my own picture down, so I apologise, that wasn't meant. Obviously when I do show the letter, I will bring it up and I will just replace it like really quite quickly as well. So Jacob Crouch. So Jacob Crouch was born healthy on the 17th of February 2020 and died alone in his cot on the 30th of December 2020 at his home in Linton near Swindon Court. I'm terrible at saying this, it's horrendous, I know, so I apologise if I said the Swindon Court wrong. I do it every single time. In fact, the video thinks that I say London rather than Linton as well, which is insane. So Jacob's biological parents are Gemma Barton and Andrew Smith. When Gemma was pregnant with Jacob, she met Craig Crouch in September 2019 on the dating website Plenty of Fish, when Gemma was already 4 months pregnant with Jacob. She would, during this point, claim that Andrew was violent towards her, and they split. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I'm very much, I usually, when it comes to things like that, specifically domestic violence, it did make me wary a little bit in regards to continuing to reach out to Andy, which he's fully aware of. I'm not, usually when it does come to any sorts of domestic violence, you know, I will search and hunt to see if there is any evidence or proof that there was indeed domestic violence. There's not been any police reports or any complaints of domestic violence against Andy at all. It was unfortunately a lie. And unfortunately, this lie meant that Andy was unsafe. And because people believed, and it's very much like what I did at first, you believe the alleged victim in regards to this. But I did do my own research in regards to it way back in, when I was speaking to Andy initially, and he wasn't violent towards Gemma. It was a lie. And from what I can remember him telling me at the time, I do believe that they were actually together at the time when Gemma met Craig on Plenty of Fish, so behind his back. Obviously, like I said, these claims had also been denied by Andrew. He has no reason to lie about this. And there are no official claims, like I said, that he ever was. And Andrew was subsequently blocked from seeing Gemma. Thank you so much for the follow, Carol, and of course Lindsay. If I do miss anything at all, it's not meant, obviously, because I am reading for this and I will be reading from a PC as well. But Andy, oh, thank you so much for the roses. Andy moved away from his home, moved away from the world, actually moved from England up to Scotland. Thank you so much for the follow, Happy Watermelon. Now, Gemma and Craig's relationship moved very fast. Actually, so much fast that Crouch moved into Gemma's home just a few short months later. Crouch, thank you so much for the rose. Crouch was also named as Jacob's father on the birth certificate and began referring to the unborn baby as our little boy. The courts heard that Crouch, who was actually a forklift driver earning $31,300 a year at GCB, he had lied to Barton about his career. Thank you so much for the heart me and welcome to the fan club. to impress her. He told her he was a senior executive earning over £70,000 a year and had access to private company helicopters and had met political figures at work. During the trial at Derby Crown Court, it was revealed that the couple bonded quite quickly over shared control with text messages detailing how they encouraged a culture of cruelty against the infant shortly after Jacob was born. The abuse of Jacob began when he was only 4 months old. Andy, sadly, never met his little boy. He was blocked from everything. He did get some pictures. I've seen the pictures that were shared, including the thank you so much for the heart me, including of course the picture that was taken allegedly the day before he was murdered, which is horrible, especially the fact that, you know, okay, thank you so much for the follow, Leanne. So Yaz, I'm talking about the Jacob Crouch case. For those that are unaware, Jacob was murdered at his home and on the 30th of December 2020. I've not long since started. I was just giving a little bit of background in regards to how the mother and the stepfather met. A little bit of the background about the biological father as well, and the fact that I'm allowed to say specifics when it's been, especially the fact that I'm using Andy's words and directly, because it was him that had obviously told me up front and was very honest about why he left and why he was blocked and why he was a bit afraid to go down there. And obviously, as we're fully aware, on 17th of February 2020, we were at the beginning of a global pandemic. And so the older Jacob got, the less chance that Andy was going to be able to see little Jacob as well. And because Craig was on the birth certificate and was taking full responsibility of parentage, he would have found it a lot more difficult to actually be able to see. And accusations of anything, thank you so much for the follow, Muse Echo. Accusations of anything, especially when it pertains to violence, the courts primarily do favour in the mother's favour. Even if there's no evidence to sustain the claim, courts in general do tend to favour the mother, but they will naturally favour the mother unless there is any violence. But little did obviously Andy know, and I think any of the neighbours knew indeed about any potential violence that was going on. Jacob was seen as a happy little boy. I've seen the videos where he's trying to crawl. I've seen the videos where he's playing on the mat, and I'll get into what was said at that point as well very soon, because I was sickened, and I did share the video when I did the full rundown on this, because people would ask me for a lot. Thank you so much for the follow in, Sandra. People had obviously asked me in regards to what had happened because they had missed the live, but they had seen the 999 call, and they had also seen Gemma's arrest. So it was specifically around Gemma's arrest, because she puts on the crocodile tears and not one tear falls down her face. Thank you so much for the follow, Jessica. Now, on the Wednesday, the 30th of December 2020, Craig Crouch would make a very cold 999 call, saying that they had found Jacob dead in his cot and that he had been ill the day before. And I will play the 999 call for you now. Now, it is cold. You do hear that in regards to how he's talking about a baby. And remember, Jacob was only 10 months old as well when this call had been placed. And if you can, I'm not going to say anything throughout it, but try and listen to what Gemma's reactions are and what Gemma says. The people say they hear things in the background of this, and I want you all to tell me in the comments if you can hear anything specifically. And thank you so much for the follow, H.
Ambulance, is the patient breathing?
Hello, no, he's passed away.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
We've got a 10-month-old baby. He was struggling to eat last night. He brought up his dinner. We put him to bed. We kept checking him throughout the night. My partner checked him at 5 o'clock. She told me that he was okay. Everything was fine. I've just gone in to go and check him, and he's stone cold. He's gone.
Okay, this isn't delaying any help. Help's coming as fast as it possibly can. Okay, you right?
Thank you very much.
Are you right with the patient now?
I believe he's asleep at the moment.
Bear with me a second. Okay, so I'm organising that help for you. Stay on the line. I'll tell you exactly what to do next.
Thank you very much.
Are you right by the baby now?
No, I'm in the master bedroom.
Okay, are you able to go to the baby?
Yes. Yes, I'm with him now.
You're with him now? Okay, so listen carefully. Lay the baby flat on their back on the floor and remove anything from under his head.
Hold on a second, please. Head down. Yes, I've done that.
Okay, so kneel next to the baby and look in the mouth for food or vomit.
He's covered in his black stuff. I don't know what it is.
Right. So kneel.
My partner says it looks like he's been sick, but yeah.
So kneel next to the baby, look in the mouth for food or vomit. Is there anything in the mouth?
No, I can't see nothing.
So now place your hand on the baby's forehead, your other hand
Yes.
on the baby's neck and shoulders, then slightly tilt the head back.
Yes, I've done that.
Put your ear next to the mouth. Can you feel or hear any breathing?
Look, I'm not being. He's gone. He's stone cold and he's gone stiff. Gemma, are you sure you checked him at 5 o'clock?
Okay, so I realise how distressing this must be for you. Do you feel the baby is beyond any help?
Yes.
Processing that for you.
Sorry, go on, sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to stay on the line with you until help can be with you, okay?
Hello?
Hello there. Okay, so help's been organised for you. We're sending someone to assist you. Okay, is there anything else we can do for you or your family?
I don't know. He was fine at 5 o'clock.
Okay, you say he was fine at 5 o'clock?
Yeah, he woke me up at 5, crying, and doing a little moon. So I came in and checked on him, and he was curled up at the top of his bed, and so I moved him back down, made him comfy, stroked his face, and he went back to sleep, and I went back to bed. When I went to the toilet first, went back to bed, and I could still hear him doing a little moan, like his little settling down, talking, we call it talking to himself.
Yeah.
And then that was it. Jesus. It's not the landline, I haven't got the landline. Sorry.
Okay, can I just take his name?
It's Jacob Crouch.
Okay, so just hold the line for me one moment. I'm just going to seek some guidance for you. Just stay on.
Did anybody else hear just before she took over the call, and after Jacob had said that he was after Craig had said that Jacob was stone cold and he was gone, and he said, when the operator asks, do you believe that he's beyond any help, and he says yes. Now, I have been trying to find this for absolutely ages, and I did take a note of the time. But hi Danny, I hope you're well. Now, everybody had said what it was, but when I was listening to it on my phone, I couldn't. I don't know if this is just because it's obviously louder through the PC. But it does at one point, very slightly. Thank you so much for the follow, Stella Sen, Ricky with Angels. It does very much slightly sound like she said, when he's trying to comfort her, it sounds like she suddenly says, you killed him. And I had been trying to find it and I posted this a long time ago. It was in the comment section. Andy had heard it as well. And I just couldn't. I'd listened to it, and like at this point, I couldn't remember what the time frame of it was. This is on my profile. This whole 999 call, I put it up in August 2023, or it was either it was between July and August 2023, so you will have to scroll back a little bit, but it is indeed on my TikTok profile if anybody wants to listen to it themselves and make their own judgment on whether or not you actually hear her say you killed him, because I do believe that I heard it for the first time. I don't want to influence anybody. That's why obviously I never said anything at the time as to what it was that I wanted you to listen to. I just obviously said that there was something. Now, this letter that I'm going to put up. Okay. This letter, yeah, Karen, I don't know if it was actually, I don't know if I'd had a conversation with yourself actually in the comments section about that. So this letter, I don't know if you can see it all, was taped to their door. So it says, for anybody that's having difficulty reading it, I'll just read this out. Good evening, neighbours. I'll actually put the redacted part just where the sticker is. She did actually. Oh, okay. That's what everybody told me it. Everyone told me that they couldn't believe that they couldn't find it. So I recorded the time as roughly after 2 minutes 54 seconds. So it's either just before or just after that bit. It's when he's comforting her. Now, says because I'm needing to read it from this as well, even though I shared it obviously previously. So, good evening, neighbours. The hardest letter I will ever have to write. To make this easier for the next coming weeks, we want to take this opportunity to explain why first response units, an ambulance and several police officers were at our home on Wednesday morning. Devastatingly, we have lost our beautiful 10-month-old boy. We woke up Wednesday morning. Thank you for the follow, Simone. Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. to find him no longer with us. 999 was called, but sadly it was too late. We know some people, so thank you for the follow, Charlotte. Oh, I know who that is. We do not wish to relieve our loss over and over. Thank you for any kind thoughts you may have, but we are also asking for people not to send us cards, etc. We are in so much pain. Jacob will never be forgotten, which I thought was a weird way to obviously play that. Thank you so much for your time and kind regards. And hi, Andy. I was just actually talking about you. I just saw you pop in there. Now, it was actually it wasn't just those in the I hope you're well, and obviously you know why I'm sharing this this as well, because of obviously what you've advised me about that she might be getting out early. Thank you for the follow, Liz. Obviously I just want to remind anybody, and I'll say this all the time, don't troll. And thank you for the follow, TikToker edits, and thank you so much for the heart me, Jan, and thank you for the follow, goddamn. Now Andy, I hope you're well, Jan. Andy is Jacob's biological father, and he knew, well, he probably guessed I was going to be sharing this, well, doing this at some point because of what he told me as well. I want everybody to be respectful in regards to Andy. Don't troll, don't ask weird questions as well. I get questions will always want to be asked in general, but out of respect for Andy being in the comments as well and watching this, please be as respectful as possible. I won't have anybody saying anything that, if you wouldn't want it to be said about a member of your family, don't say it in the comments. Probably the best way to put that, actually. Although, thank you to everybody so far for being very respectful. Good evening to all. Oh, right, you can go away. I'm not having nonsense like that, guy. You've been blocked. And I'll mute you. And I'll mute it as well. Yeah, I'm not having that shit in my life. Especially after what I just said. Thank you, Adele. I noticed you muted it. I actually blocked them directly. So now what I'm going to read out is a lot of this. This is okay. I'll give that a wee read in a wee second. I've got my messenger open actually because I'm going to read out. I will be reading out your victim impact statement as well. The one that you sent me, not the edited one. Now, this is the timeline mapping out the complex police investigation. I'm also going to talk about them being bailed. And thank you for the follow, Michelle. I'm also going to discuss about the fact that when they were bailed, what Andy had actually advised me in general about what one of the things that they had broke. Thank you for the follow, Luce. And I will obviously discuss their sentencing. I'll go back to what I discussed earlier on in regards to the petition that was shared, etc. So this is going to be difficult to hear for a lot of people. So huge trigger warning. Actually humongous trigger warning. It is absolutely awful what happened to Jacob. So there's the timeline and the mapping of the complex police investigation. The build-up of the prosecution case and the initial court procedures includes several key developments. I'm just going to pin that. Let me pin. Yeah. See. So the 30th of December 2022, of course, this was when the incident had been. Emergency services responded to a 999 emergency call made from the family home in Linton, Derbyshire. Paramedics discovered 10-month-old Jacob Crouch cold. Oops, sorry, I got distracted by something. Cold in his cot. He was pronounced dead at the scene on the 5th of January 2021. Oh, sorry. Yeah, was pronounced dead at the scene, and the initial arrest was on the 5th of January 2021. I totally rolled into what I was saying. I apologise. Following preliminary medical reports indicating unexplained trauma, detectives from Derbyshire Police arrested Craig Crouch and Gemma Barton on suspicion of murder. In early 2021 to mid-2022, the police were building the case. Police released the couple on conditional bail. This lengthy 18-month gap was required for specialised medical experts to map out distinctive stages of Jacob's healing and fresh bone fractures. Concurrently, digital forensic analysts extracted encrypted data and audio files from the parents' mobile phones. On the 29th of March 2022, they were rearrested and remanded. Armed with definitive medical and text log evidence, police rearrested Crouch and Barton. Due to the severity of the fault of the newly established evidence, they were remanded into prison custody. Now, when they were first arrested, now in 2021, they were released on bail whilst, and like I mentioned there, whilst they waited the results of the complex medical reviews and digital forensic data. And they told me that one of the conditions of the bail that they were actually to stay away from each other. And surprise, surprise, they did not. And it was roughly 18 months that they were on bail for, roughly, whilst the detectives built the case against them. And of course, their what betrayal didn't the mum only get? Yes, and I will definitely discuss that. Thank you for the follow, the person that's got their name as being Hearts. Somebody has actually told me about the documentary in regards to this, and I've not read the documentary on Jacob's case. Well, watched, sorry, the documentary on Jacob's case. Thank you for the follow. Is it Sion? Obviously, I'm going by what Sean, sorry, thank you for the follow, Crafting Crazy Cath. Of course, I am going on what I heard at the time, and the subsequent conversations that I had with Andy, and of course, all the evidence, well, as much of the evidence that were out there, well, at least as much as possible anyway. Now, it was obviously, it was a long time that we're out, but you remember they had the mobile phone at the time. They seen the videos, they saw the text messages, and they have to build a case against anybody in general. The Crown Prosecution Service has to see probable cause to fully arrest and charge somebody. So they went through it all, and that includes with the forensics analysis as well. It was definitely gone too soon, sorry. Now, so, and obviously they were remanded into prison on the 6th of July 2022. The Crown Prosecution Service officially authorised charges of murder and child cruelty against both defendants. Thank you for the follow, Sarah Crystal. The pre-trial court hearings in July 2022, this was a magistrate's court appearance. Both defendants made, thank you so much for the rose, Yorkshire Princess. If I'm missing anything, I apologise. It's because my eyes are elsewhere. Yeah, it wasn't enough, Andy. I wholeheartedly agree with you there. And both defendants made their first appearances at Southern Derbyshire Magistrates Court. Due to the indictable only nature of the murder charges, thank you so much for the heart mean H. The Magistrates Court immediately transferred the case upwards to the dog you can't watch is blocked on all streams. Oh, she was charged for child cruelty and another child. Was that? Yeah, I couldn't find the actually, I couldn't remember what you had said, if there was another child involved. Am I incorrect in saying that he had another child? Is that correct? Just because obviously that's not been publicly put out there, and I won't name names, don't worry. But it's just because when I was going through your victim impact statement, I saw. Right, okay. I saw you mention another child, and I tried hunting and I couldn't find anything. But that's fair enough. So yeah, I won't name any names. Don't worry. And you know me. You certainly know me by now. I think it's been since I covered this that we've spoken as well. Andy, did Gemma have another child? Can you answer Amna's question? I mean, according to the court, according to what I could find in regards to this, it was only one that she had, and that was little Jacob. Even just a yes or a no would be fine. But I'm going to continue to read this anyway. But obviously we won't share. Okay, no worries. Obviously we won't share names or anything like that either, because that's not right. So any random names that do get dropped in, mods, I know yous are all over it, but if random names do get dropped in, can you please make sure they get muted and then unmuted, because we need to be careful about what is said. Now, thank you. Now, the crowd, obviously, you know, sorry, I've kind of jumped ahead a little bit because I keep jumping back and forth. So on 29th of March 2022, the rearrest and remand, armed with definitive medical and text log evidence, rearrested Crouch and Barton. Due to the severity of the newly established evidence, they were remanded into prison custody. The 6th of July, I will get to that, Hallie. On the 6th of July 2022, this was a formal charges. So the Crown Prosecution Service, CPS, officially authorised charges of murder and cruelty against both defendants. And during the pre-trial, so the pre-trial court hearings, July 2022, I think I actually jumped ahead. I've jumped back a little bit too far. Apologies if I did. So Magistrates Count Court appearance. Both defendants made their first brief appearances in the Southern Derbyshire Magistrates Court. Due to the indictable-only nature of the murder charges, the magistrates immediately transferred the case upwards to Crown Court late 2022. So the plea and trial preparation hearings, appearing via video link at Derby Crown Court before Senior Circuit Judge Craig Crouch and Gemma Barton both entered formal pleas of not guilty to all counts of murder, manslaughter and child cruelty. And hi Macy. In early 2023, during the pre-trial management, legal arguments took place regarding the admissibility of the highly toxic text message exchanges and mobile videos, specifically the footage of the paddling pool and the forced eating of vomit. Again, I'd say to you, it's a huge trigger warning in this case. And yes, I was going to... So... As Andy said as well, when she was on remand, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She no longer is suffering from breast cancer. That regard was she got, and you can fuck right off. Don't. Like, how dare anybody think that it is okay to be coming in and saying stuff in this live about a child. So don't you dare. I apologise for swearing, but don't even think about it. How dare anybody decide that that's okay, because that is really not okay. She got the all clear. Yeah, I would imagine it would have been mentioned more if there was anything more. And I'm actually disgusted in what was actually said there. I'm disgusted. Not only did they get blocked, but they also got muted as well. I won't have people saying things like that about anybody. Now, right, so and that was, the judge ruled the material admissible, paving the way for the 7-week jury trial that ultimately commenced in June 2023. Now, so this is thank you, Adele, for whatever it was that has just happened there. No, it wasn't yourself at all. I did get asked if I would share it again, and also given the newer things that have been told that she may get out as early as December, I figured now is about the right time to talk about this as well. And it's also coming up to the anniversary of them both being charged, well, being found guilty, of course, as well, because it was a 7-week trial. Now, Yeah, I just won't. Thank you for the follow, little Miss Sassy. I just won't have anybody say anything horrible about a victim, especially not a baby. It was disgusting. So now, the fatal injury that caused the death of 10-month-old Jacob was a perforated bowel, which led to catastrophic internal infection known as perionitis. Thank you for the follow, Nikki, and thank you for the follow, she reviews. Now, that injury, if he'd have got the medical help that he did at the time, shouldn't have killed him. A perforated bowel can be repaired. And the fact that a so-called mother, or will we call her the womb, like I do on others, and the womb's boyfriends didn't get any help. They didn't get any help, didn't get medical attention at all. So it was awful. Now, the fatal strikes. So obviously the extensive injuries that Jacob had was really quite severe. Although it was the fatal blow that caused it, there was a significant amount of injuries in general for little Jacob, which was believed to have started when he was at least 4 months old. Now, the blunt force trauma pathologist, Dr. Michael Briggs, testified that the bowel perforation was caused by a single severe blunt force trauma event. This was most likely a kick, a stamp, or a punch inflicted directly to Jacob's abdomen. Medical experts compared the massive internal force required to rupture an infant's bowel to the impact seen in a high-speed car crash or a fatal fall from a multi-story building. Thank you for the follow, Purple Lady. The post-mortem examination revealed that the fatal blow was inflicted hours before medical services were called. Jacob's body had already begun trying to wall off the infection, proving that he had suffered for a prolonged period. It's not an easy thing to hear, and I do understand the shock there. Now, signs of the agony. Visible suffering. Experts testified that a baby with a perforated bowel would have been in immense obvious agony. He would have been completely unable to feed, highly lethargic, crying in deep distress and vomiting. By the time Craig Crouch and Gemma Barton finally dialed 999 at 7:13 a.m. on the 30th of December 2020, rigor mortis had already set in. Paramedics and doctors confirmed that Jacob had been dead for hours before parents sought help. Obviously, this is that's obviously just... Yeah, we'll let them. Wonder why I can't approve this. Yes, Andy, you were right about that. So I'm so sorry. There's a lot of, because we're having to be careful with some of the things that are being said. Some of the comments I've been getting, filtered just naturally. No, it's not Baby Preston. This is Jacob Crouch. No, she did a check on me, Jacob, at 5 a.m. So apologies if there's some comments that are not completely going through like straight away. It's actually coming up for me to review some of the comments as well. And I remember when you first shared the pictures with me, Andy, there was multiple pictures that I said, is that bruises? Or is that bruising that I can see there? And I think both of us at the time were in agreement that we could see some bruises on him as well, which was horrid. Yeah, TikTok is filtered in the comments. I mean, even the trigger warning got filtered. Yes, so Andy, just before you popped in, actually, I played the 999 call and had asked, and it was the first time I heard it. I'd actually said that I didn't want to influence anybody in what I had heard, but I wanted to know if other people had heard it as well. And I put it at around the 2 minutes and 54 seconds mark. You can clearly hear her say when he's trying to comfort her, you killed him. I believe they should be locked up indefinitely as well. But thank you for the follow, Georgina. And I have said, if anybody does want to hear it, I know it's on. It is. Thank you for the follow, Kelly. Actually, once I've got through all of this, I'll let you hear it again, because I mean, it's not like I've not got a hold of it, and I'll let you make that decision, because I don't want to influence anybody in what I can now hear. Considering that previously in the comment section of the video that I did share of the 999 call, other people were telling me that it was there, but I was not able to hear it at all. Yeah, that was the... Oh yeah, I've got the little picture now. Yeah, I remember you. Actually, your messages are all still there from previously, so that included the pictures, and that was when she sent you the picture, and she's told you that this was the night before. The night before he died, was what her words had said. And they shouldn't walk the street again. And the reason that I'm talking about this, because she may indeed get out early, which is even worse. Even worse. I will say this, without obviously... Yeah, I remember you sending me this picture before. The way she says it and how cold it she is in regards to things, it is utterly horrendous. She's on day release. Yeah, I need to have more conversations with you. So I'm not... It was decided by the petition, and this was even including the petition that I shared relentlessly as well. I tried everything that I could think of to get this petition shared, and that was when I was going live about it all the time. I was obviously mentioning that I was putting up little videos or little story, just little text to say that where the good people could find the petition as well. It did indeed go to... Christine, I will discuss... wait now. It's in Royal. I don't know what you're meaning, but I'll drop me a message afterwards. We can still sign it, unfortunately. I'm not. The time for it to be requested upon for the sentence to be reviewed, you only get 28 days. Now, Sasha Marsden's sister has just recently managed to get passed off Sasha's law. So that 28 days is no longer going to be applicable, because at the end of the day, criminals can appeal their sentences all the time. However, others will... when victims' families can't appeal a decision in regards to this. So we did everything possible to try, and I was supporting any way I possibly could by just obviously making sure it was shared, making sure other people were sharing it as well, signing it personally too, putting it in a link tree at the time. We only have 28 days to make the appeal, which is now changed. And it did get put back up against the jury. Well, not the jury, the judge. And the judge had decided that the sentence was not too lenient. He saw Gemma as non-violent, so had no reason to believe that she will be violent in the future, and the sentence was then upheld. She got a 10-year sentence and would have probably been out at 5 then, because of the time spent on remand. It was then reduced to 4, and it's now been reduced even further. She may be getting out in December, which is horrible. And I can't believe she's in an open prison. That's disgusting. Yeah, she will most likely move on with another partner. They did, in regards to like, he only like Craig got, Craig Crouch got 28 years, and that sentence never got extended. That was seen as fine. But so where did I get to? Yeah, so I mentioned about the rigor mortis and stuff, and the fact that he was already still. So basically, the life for life, bring back death sentence for editors, for monsters like these. Yes, and I don't know what was said. So obviously, like, just be what I will say. So mods are doing amazing. I've blocked obviously a couple of people today because we need to be careful. But well, some people have been disgusting, so I immediately blocked them. But if you right, we can't delete a comment, okay? And we have to remember that throughout all of this, the biological father of this sweet little boy is in the comment section. Some words we can't use in the chat. I am on an over 18. My account was over 18 in general, but there is some words that I cannot have in the chat in general. So thank you so much for the heart, me Macy. Thank you for the follow, Lindsay. So if you do get muted, it is only for a short spell, just so that the comment can go away, okay? Thank you so much for the heart, me, Lindsay. It's only for, thank you for the rose, Georgina. It's only so that the comment will go away. It's not a personal dig, and you'll get immediately unmuted, because that means that the comment will be cleared, okay? So please don't think it's in anything at all hateful. It'll just be to remove a comment, and then you'll still be able to chat just immediately afterwards, because it's just literally just to remove it. It's a mute and unmute. So please don't think that we're doing it on purpose. We just have to be careful, and just in general, doesn't mean that I disagree with some of the things that you're saying, but just in general, we can't change the law, and the law is as it is. Now, I am going to mention why she got such a lenient sentence as well, too, and I'll go through. I'm just going to go through there was historical injuries that was found as well. Now, the perforated bowel was a direct cause of death. Post-mortem also revealed a wider history of severe symptomatic trauma inflicted over the final 6 months of his life. Now, Jacob had at least 39 rib fractures caused by adult hands squeezing his chest with immense force. Thank you for the follow, Happy Life. And wait, now where did it go? Yeah, the pediatric experts identified that these fractures occurs during at least 5 separate attacks. Some ribs had been broken, began to heal, and they were forcefully rebroken. At least 22 of the rib fractures were highly recent, having been inflicted in the final week of his life. Thank you for the little heart me happy life. The examination recorded 19 visible external bruises, including marks on his face, head, and chest, alongside internal bruising to his scalp. The prosecution's medical timeline demonstrated he would have been in agony. There is no other way. And thank you for the follow, Maxine. And also, just with the perforated bowel as well. Yeah, the perforated bowel. That would have been caused by the full force of the blow. Thank you for the follow, Angelina. Like, Andy, I don't have words, and I say this to you all the time. There's no words to say that can obviously be of any help in regards to what this is. And if I'm reopening old traumas, I apologise, but it was asked for me to talk about this, given the fact that the sentence as well, she might be getting out soon as she's in an open jail. It's disgusting, it's horrible. So I apologise if this is a trigger in any way, shape or form, Andy. I'm not doing it for that reason in the slightest, of course. So 19 visible external bruises, including marks on his face, head and chest, alongside internal bruising to his scalp. The prosecution's medical timeline demonstrated that 10-month-old Jacob Crouch was subjected to fatal injuries before emergency services were called, with pathology suggesting he suffered for an extended period of time. Paramedics found rigor mortis had already set in when they arrived, proving the parents delayed calling 999 after the fatal assault, despite claiming that the child was fine shortly before. Digital forensic investigation by Derbyshire Police into the mobile phones of Craig Crouch and Gemma Barton became the cornerstone of the prosecution's case. It completely dismantled their claims that they were loving parents, unaware of Jacob. 39 injuries. 39 rib fractures caused by squeezing. I imagine it would be along this. I'm just imagining it'd be like this. I mean, I know that they say that babies' bones are soft, but that would have had to have been quite a significant force. I'm only doing that because even then, sometimes babies are a little bit bigger as well. But yeah, there was a significant force. That's what they said. I mean, that actually says 39 fractures caused by adult hands squeezing his chest with immense force. So, and 22 were recent. I don't know. Like, I will obviously mention what her defense was because it's all in here. So I've got it all written down, ready to go. But I don't obviously know in the slightest in regards to how anybody can do this as well. And also the fact that Jacob was one of 36 children killed in COVID's year by parents or caregivers. It doesn't make sense. The feelings on kids in general was there isn't a defence, I agree. Is that what she said? Because obviously, I'd mentioned about what her accusation against yourself was, and I obviously mentioned about the fact that why you felt you had to leave where he was and why she wasn't letting you see him, because obviously things like what she said about the claim that she had made against you, something like that sticks as well. And it's difficult to shake something like that off, even if it's not true, once it's been said once, because of how the world is at the moment as well. So, like, she was very much prone to lying, wasn't she, Andy? Very much so. Manipulative shrew. I don't know. I've not seen any of the documentaries. I was told about it, but I've personally not seen the documentaries myself. I only know about this because I covered it at the time, and I'd obviously I spoke to Andy directly about it too. Now, critical elements uncovered during the digital investigation. Thank you for the follow, Amanda. Uncovered during the digital investigation included the seizure and fresh insight, the arrest seizure. Although Jacob died in December 2020, the couple was formally arrested on the 29th of March 2022 following extensive medical reviews. Detectives seized their smartphones upon arrest, extracting encrypted messaging data that provided the police described as fresh, horrific insight into, thank you for the follow, Carrie-Anne, into the household. There was a regimental discipline strategy. Oh my God, Macy, thank you so much. These things are so lovely. The regimental discipline strategy. Now, I remember back when I first covered this, and I think during the video I said that he felt like Jacob should be doing X, Y, and Z, that he was going to treat the household like it was in the army, that Jacob needed to learn to shut up and not make a noise and not do X, Y, Z like what a normal child would do. normal everyday child would do. So he was known to be rather forceful in his attitude to how things should be, but the force wasn't towards Jimmer per se. This forceful regimental attitude was pushed onto Jacob. Like I said to start with, when I mentioned this little bit, that the couple had actually bonded quickly over shared control. Yeah, defense said it was all, the defense for her defense attorney said it was all Craig and nothing to do with her, which is a lie. In my mind, it's a lie. What I heard about what she had said back was a lie as well. I mentioned the video that I shared, that I think I shared, where he's sitting up and you just see the back of him and he's got the arch of that play toy over it. Craig says, "It's quiet in there. You killed him. Or you killed him yet?" About a child that's sitting right in front. And she laughs like this is nothing. And that was one of the videos that were shared. Like I said previously, there was other videos that they found where little Jacob was forced to eat his own vomit. Thank you, Macy. It's not... This was prolonged. This was a long time. He was 10 months when he was murdered. This was going on for 6 months. It was a 6 months of sustained, continued abuse. And even if they do believe that most of it, well, at least the physical aspect of it had only happened on at least 4 separate occasions, the mental torture to a child had lasted so much longer. So much longer. It's awful. Now, investigators recovered multiple audio voice notes sent by Crouch to Barton outlining a strict family hierarchy. Crouch demanded that the parents remain entirely at the top and insisted that their infant obey them. Yeah. Go and tell her that one and that one. There's a lot more that was said in court. Yeah, I imagine that there'll be a lot of what was said in court that they would not be allowed to say. Because probably some things are so horrific to be shared that they didn't want that to be fully put out there. Andy, I can't imagine what you would have went through having to hear all this as well. When Barton complained about Jacob crying, Crouch texted her instructions. If he starts crying for no reason, then smack his hand and straight to bed until settled. You need to be harder on him. This will only get worse if not addressed now. That was a baby. Crouch routinely used text messages to threaten to leave Barton if she did not force Jacob to improve his behaviour. Thank you for the follow, Nova. Oops, I just hit the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. There was allowed to, but there's a lot to put in. Yeah, given the fact that the multiple articles that I initially reviewed before I even covered this back when I knew the sentencing was happening, everything that I pulled together to find for this, and the more I read, the angrier I got. Like, your little boy's story, like, really spoke to my heart, like, in such a massive way. It came to the point that I felt like he was a family member to me as well. Thank you for the follow, Natalie. And I'm sorry that this happened, because your little boy should still be here. And this should never have happened. At all. And I don't believe that this was a coercive control situation in the slightest. Because she was just as explicit as well. Thank you for the follow, Natalie. And sorry if I miss anybody as well. Obviously, if I'm going back to the PC, I'm trying to pay attention to what my notes are as well as obviously here. So if I miss anything, I'm sorry. And thank you so much, mods. And thank you as well, Andy, for being here. I know it can't be easy to be. Now, there was a documentation of abuse and resentment. There was multiple times it was dehumanizing language. The messages revealed a deep-seated resentment towards the baby. The couple referred to their 10-month-old as the devil and a little shit. In June 2020, text messages showed Crouch asking if she had put back what Jacob threw back down him. In other words, if she had forced him to eat his vomit. And Barton texted back confirming that she had forced the baby to consume his own vomit. The Bleach banter in September 2020. Barton messaged Crouch to tell him she was running a bath for Jacob. Crouch replied, and this is a verbatim, 3 foot deep, just hot water and some bleach. XXXX. When questioned by police about his text during the, it's horrible. During his interviews, Crouch dismissed it as if it were mere banter. The coercive control and manipulation. Judicial findings. Mr. Justice Kerr noted during sentencing that the text log served as undeniable proof that Crouch exerted intense coercive control and manipulation over Barton. That was her defence. Detective Inspector Paul Bullock stated that the digital logs proved both individuals effectively encouraged one another, creating an environment where a child was subjected to systematic assault. I agree more for the detective. Craig Crouch, the stepfather, was found guilty of murder and 3 counts of child cruelty. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum of 28 years. Gemma Barton, the mother, was acquitted of murder and manslaughter, but found guilty of causing or allowing the death of a child and 1 count of child cruelty. She was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Now, considering, despite all of this, prosecution accusing had successfully established that Jacob was subjected to a living hell of regular repeated physical abuse started when he was just 4 months old. Like I'd obviously mentioned as well, the extensive injuries, a post-mortem examination revealed that Jacob had suffered at least 39 rib fractures caused by adult hands squeezing him with immense force, alongside 19 visible bruises. At least 22 of these fractures occurred in the final week of his life. Jacob died from perionitis, a severe internal infection caused by a perforated bowel. Medical experts concluded this came from a single blunt force trauma event, such as a kick, a stamp, or a punch, which he could have been saved if medical attention was given at that exact moment. Yes, Craig Crouch and Gemma Barton would have lost custody of Jacob, but Jacob would have still been here. This is just going to be me slightly repeating a little bit about what I've said again, because it's going to have to be. I just want to get it put to the forefront. Remember, this is about a baby. And that trauma event came from the a single blunt force trauma event such as a kick, stamp or punch. And obviously this happened in Derbyshire. And obviously the encrypted mobile phone data. Thank you so much for the heart, me, Georgie. And to whoever put the little eyelash things on them, that is so cool. Thank you. The encrypted mobile data recovered by Derbyshire police showed the couple routinely micromanaged the baby with regimental discipline. It's a baby. And obviously, again, Crouch referred to the infant as a devil. And another, he texted Barshan about bathing the baby in hot water and some bleach. Medical testimony stated that Jacob would have survived the final assault had either parent called for emergency medical care sooner. When they finally phoned 999, rigor mortis had already set in, indicating he'd been dead for hours. The trial judge also noted that Crouch used coercive control and elaborate lies. And because of the dismissed charges of murder and manslaughter, and because it was believed that it was a coercive controlled relationship that Gemma was in, which I disagree with, given the fact that she texts back and she was just as complicit with the text messages. And there was multiple times during that 6-month period that that little boy could have been saved. She used COVID as an excuse to shield the baby. She used a lie about domestic. Thank you very much for the follow, Seffi. She used a lie about domestic violence to keep the biological father, who is Andy, away from the baby. Everything about this was disgusting. 10 years is not long enough. She has only served. It's coming up for 3 years that she'll have served. She's now in an open prison. The review to her sentence was classed as being fine. It wasn't lenient, and she was not classed as being a danger towards anybody. And there was a sentence review, of course, and that was following the trial. Both sentences were reviewed by the Attorney General's office under the unduly lenient sentence scheme under public outlawry. In September 2023, the Solicitor General announced that the legal threshold for an increase was not met, meaning Craig Crouch's 28-year minimum sentence remains unchanged. She is potentially getting out in December as well, as Andy had told me. Now, I'm going to read, actually, Andy's unedited version of the victim impact statement that was released. Thank you, Andy, for obviously sharing. I will say this. So this is ultimately basically, there's changes in the law that will affect how some prisoners are released. And obviously, thank you so much for the rose, Colette. Now, I'm going to have a cigarette. This is going to come up as a warning, but I'm on an over 18 live. I'm old enough to I'm well more than old enough to... What? I'm going to ignore that comment. They can just go away. Somebody's trying to derail me from what I'm talking about. Now, in the news, as many of you are aware, that there's a review in Sentencing Act 2026 that would change how some prison sentences for adults are managed. These changes have been introduced following an independent review with the aim of improving effectiveness of sentencing, and better managing offenders in the community. Now, there is a massive review going on at the moment about how people are sentenced. It is believed that up to 26,000 people are going to be eligible for release early. Some of them are rapists. Some of them are paedophiles. But it's up to 26,000 because there's overcrowding in jails. And A lot of the sentences that are put to review to be a harsher sentence will not be. Thank you so much for the rose, Julie. Just as a warning, it's going to come up that it's going to be consuming some substances in this live. But yeah, actually, use prisoners to build new prisons. There is a new prison getting built. Thank you for the heartbeat, Queenie. There is a new prison getting built in Glasgow actually at the moment, because I know that Saxon prison's really full and Cornwall Vale's really full. That's the women prison. Because I know that some women prisoners that are put into a slightly different area in Saxon prison because Cotton Rail is too full. But there's a new prison getting built in Glasgow. They just need to find an expansive land to build a new prison. It's simple as that. They managed to build Stockton around, and it will come up that I don't care. I'm on an over 18 live, and I'm 41. I'm old enough to make my own decisions. And I want to have a cigarette, then I'm going to have a cigarette. But yeah, so basically it just means that offenders will serve 33% of their sentence if a prison down from 40% or 50%. And some will serve 50% down from 67%. I will have a proper read at that later. But thank you, Andy, for sending that over to me. Because it is quite interesting to read. And what about a prison shop? They keep talking about that. So I still remember feeling, I'm looking through some of the videos that was obviously the one where he has shared the thing. It's horrible. Andy, I'm going to read out this text message thread between, or the message that Gemma sent to you back when she was pregnant, and this is when she decided that she was going to make up the lie of him being domestic abusive. Gemma said, and this is verbatim, "You can't even fucking reply to me. I'm having your child and you just fucking ignore me. You're fucking stupid. You had a chance to talk to me and you fucked it again. Right, that's it. I'll make sure you have nothing to do with anyone. They believe me, not you. And you thought you would win. No, you won't. I'm a good liar. I don't give a shit about you anymore. And die for all I care," which is horrible. Absolutely fucking disgusting. And Gemma re-added Andy after the funeral, and it was basically to say why she was adding, because obviously Andy had questioned this, and it was just to let you know, Jacob's funeral was yesterday. And obviously Andy wanted to see him and never. It was horrible. See him. Now, this is Andy's unedited victim impact statement. Because obviously it got edited slightly for court. And difficult to read. I remember when I first read this, I would read this on live as well, and I was absolutely shocked. I've still not been able to. I still need to remember to do that little video of this as well, because people need to remember that who this little boy is. That he did have a biological father. That wasn't allowed to see him because of a lie. And they never got to see his son. He only got to see his son through pictures. So Andy said, "I had a son. His name was Jacob. My boy did not even take my surname because of your deceit. All I have is a photograph to remember him. There will be no memories of his first steps, no memories of his first words. I'll never hear my son call me dad. I'll never be able to hug him and celebrate his achievements. I will never get to spend time teaching him or take him on his first driving lesson or take him for his first pint. I had that taken away from me. Like Jacob's future is taken away. I had to move away because of the stress and the lies to the point I had a heart attack, which left me having surgery for a stent. December last year, my partner had a miscarriage. It devastated me. I've lost Jacob and I've also lost my unborn child. I see other families doing normal things like playing in the park, walking their dogs, doing the school run, and my heart breaks again, over and over. The pain will be with me for a lifetime. It's not something that will ever go away. The injuries inflicted on my boy and the trauma you inflicted on my boy has some justice now, but it'll never be enough for suffering or my pain and the pain for all his family. I redacted a bit off that because obviously what you had mentioned when we were discussing things, because I didn't want to share yet another little bit. I'm sorry, I've literally paused there because I generally don't have words again. And I do this every single time that I read this. It's just a reminder as well, as much as people talk about cases and stuff, there's always a family behind this. Little Jacob was real. Little Jacob was very, very real. Will always be real. And to Andy, because you are in the comments specifically, there isn't any words that I can say that is of any comfort in the slightest. At all. I've always said this. There's nothing that I can say to bring you any sort of words of comfort at all, because nothing will comfort you about this. I'm sorry. I am so incredibly sorry. How this wasn't caught sooner, I do not know. That little boy, your little boy, was in immense, unimaginable pain because of a mother that was supposed to protect them. Yeah, I read them. Oh, yes, actually, yeah. Thank you very much for the follow, Haley. Like, I've chosen not to share the pictures of the monsters, and thank you so much for the heart me. I've chosen not to share a picture of the monsters because the monsters don't deserve to get a share. I've discussed what they are and what kind of people that they are. But the main part of all of this is the fact that it is a little boy. Jacob was one of 36 children killed by parents or caregivers in England and Wales alone in COVID year. Lockdown was blamed for so much. In fact, when you look into this case, it will automatically bring up Finlay Bowden. The failings on social work departments in general was horrific. For the fact that they waited until Jacob was 4 months old before they started any type of abuse shows to me that this was sorry, I'm just accepting a couple of comments. She's waited until health visitor are no longer visiting. And then, of course, you'll most likely get from social work departments that health visitors probably stopped. 4-month-olds, they go through a difficult stage, and that's probably what caused it. Yeah, the resentment was disgusting. But they probably would have stopped the health visitors coming out a little bit early. And because of COVID, and because of that, so many children were missed with massive safeguarding. There was probably there had to have been some sort of evidence in some way about maybe the way that a child was handled, treated in general. That there's something not right about this at all. Like I said, this case really touched me right here, and it hurts me up here when I think about this. I know that I'll never forget little Jacob case, and I shared this, and I will, and again because she may be getting out, and knowing that she's in an open jail is disgusting. Knowing that our judicial system is the way it is revolts me. The fact that a child was murdered and in such a brutal, horrific way, with the injuries that was sustained, and if medical intervention had been given when he had that blow to the stomach, that little boy could have been saved. And instead they waited until rigor mortis had fully set in before they phoned 999. Gemma doesn't really deserve to get out. Thank you for the follow, Julie. Gemma doesn't deserve to get out of jail. She certainly doesn't deserve to only spend like 37% of your sentence. It happened in Derbyshire in 2020, in COVID year. It was the 30th of December that he was pronounced murdered. Ultimately pronounced dead through, and it was murder. No, they didn't sort her out. Hayley's like, there is one thing that I'll say, because the prisoners may have just believed the story. There may have been some sympathy there because while she was on remand, hi Leon, while she was on remand, she had suffered from breast cancer. So there was probably some sort of sympathy there. The courts deemed this as, nope, I don't live by myself at all, Leon. And that's really creepy. No, to be thingy, but that's not right. It's a weird thing to ask somebody. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, so it happened in 2020, and little Jacob never saw justice until 2023. Yeah, it was a random comment, Jan, I agree. Yeah, I don't know if I should block them. I don't know if I can block them if they're on mute. That was a bit odd. But again, there is going to be some people that might start coming to try and derail me from what I'm actually talking about, just in general anyway. But after Andy told me about this last week, then I felt like it was good to share little Jacob's story, to share Jacob, to share the little boy as well. Thank you so much for the heartbeat, Tara. I do you know what I do as well? I hope somebody gets her when she gets out. I know that sounds cruel, and I know that sounds mean, but she said it to Andy herself in a message. She's a good liar. She clearly got the courts fooled. She goes, she managed to fool a jury. 6 months that this had happened with this little boy that should have been protected, endured. Yeah, after yeah, there is a lot of comments that are getting filtered. By the way, it's TikTok doing it itself. I'm fixing comments when I can see them, but yeah. But like, obviously I'd shared this with somebody that had asked if I would share the story as well, and I did. And yeah, Jan, I can't say it any better myself. Jacob, you'll never be forgotten. Sorry you went through this pain. R.I.P. beautiful boy. I couldn't say that very better myself, even if I tried to, because that is exactly what I'd love to say. Hayley, I agree, there is far too much child abuse going on. too much. And however, yeah, it is awful that they're protected. It is like a protection thing, but I can understand it because some words get thrown around when it's not actually true. So yeah. But I hope that she gets justice in another way. In a way, but like, again, that's not me like inciting any hate or violence towards somebody at all. But I hope that she's watched out. Actually, to be fair, she's out 5 years on license. I hope that she fucks up and she ends up back inside. If there is any other children in the vicinity, that's nieces, nephews, or other, I hope that they are protected by her as well. I hope that they are protected by her because she is not fit to be in the presence of another child at all. Never. Maybe and the fact that some criminals are separated from the rest, as we are meant to be better than the monsters. Yeah, but then the monsters are the worst of them all. Yeah, so many couples do it. It's awful. We are, like, I do agree with the whole, we are meant to be better than the monsters. We are better than the monsters. We wouldn't do something like this to a child. Void, as you said, you've got a nephew, that's what that picture reminds you of as well. And, like, it's awful. Now, I promised that I would play this again. Oops, wrong one. On top. I promised that I would play this again. So, this is a 999 call. She will need to hide her identity, change from the correct government. Yeah, well, they don't always get away with it. After all, people tend to find them. There was somebody recently that was run out of their own home because they got a menial sentence over the murder of their son, who was released last year. So yeah, I'm going to play a 999 call again, just because I said that I would. And remember, if you do want to listen to it on your own, thank you very much for the follow, Michelle. It is on my profile. It was back in July or August 2023, and that's when I posted it. Thank you so much for the heart, me, and welcome to the fan club. And how's there 60 of yous now? That's insane. So I'm going to play this again. Obviously, I'll let yous make a decision, but try and watch it for around after a couple of minutes of playing. Really listen to what she's saying in the background before it'll be a little bit before she takes over the call as well.
Ambulance, is the patient breathing?
Hello, no, he's passed away.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
We've got a 10-month-old baby. He was struggling to eat last night. He brought up his dinner. We put him to bed. We kept checking him throughout the night. My partner checked him at 5 o'clock. She told me that he was okay. Everything was fine. I was just gone in to go and check him, and he's stone cold. He's gone.
Okay, this isn't delaying any help. Help coming as fast as it possibly can. Okay, you're right.
Thank you very much.
Are you right with the patient now?
I believe he's asleep at the moment.
Bear with me a second. Okay, so I'm organising that help for you. Stay on the line. I'll tell you exactly what to do next.
Thank you very much.
Are you right by the baby now?
No, I'm in the master bedroom.
Okay, are you able to go to the baby?
Yes. Darling, stay there. Yes, I'm with him now.
You're with him now? Okay, so listen carefully. Lay the baby flat on their back on the floor and remove anything from under his head.
Hold
on a second, please. Head down. Head down. Yes. Yes, I've done that.
Okay, so kneel next to the baby and look in the mouth for food or vomit.
He's covered in his black stuff. I don't know what it is.
Right. So kneel.
My partner says it looks like he's been sick, but it's yeah.
So kneel next to the baby, look in the mouth for food or vomit. Is there anything in the mouth?
No, I can't see nothing.
So now place your hand on the baby's forehead, your other hand
Yes.
over the baby's neck and shoulders, then slightly tilt the head back.
Yes, yeah, I've done that.
Put your ear next to the mouth. Can you feel or hear any breathing?
Look, I'm not being. He's gone. He's stone cold and he's gone stiff. Gemma, are you sure you checked him at 5 o'clock?
Okay, so I realise how distressing this must be for you. Do you feel the baby is beyond any help?
Yes, yes.
Just processing that.
Did anybody hear that? When I pointed at the screen, did anybody, well, pointed at my thingy, did anybody hear that? We're just in the background. You killed him. And also, I never realised it at the time until I'll see if I can take it back. It's as loud as it'll go, because it won't go any louder. So my thing's on maximum as well.
Yes, yes.
Did you hear it now? You just say it, you just hear it and no more. It's you killed him. Yep. And actually, one of the things that I actually heard at the start, which I never noticed at first, is actually a part during that he whispers or sort of says almost inaudibly to her, "I'm sorry." It's near the start. It's near where she's like, you can hear her flapping in the background. But she clearly says, "You killed him." And that's all I can hear now, every time. Yes. He says to her, there's at one point that he whispers, I'd need to go back and obviously pause it at the time. But if I can't, because I didn't pick up where it was. So Haley's Moth, I'm trying to come live a little bit more. I've been going live. I was last live 3 days ago, but I've been trying to go live every 2 or 3 days. So I do try. I do cover recent cases as well. So it's not just old cases, but I wanted to say that I heard that in the video when I watched. He says, "I'm sorry." Yes, I'm sorry. And he says to her, "I'm sorry," but very briefly. It's nearer the sort of minute-ish mark. I want to say minute-ish. It might have been a little bit earlier. But it's really early on, and then it wasn't until that bit that I had literally heard. Everybody had told it to me, but it wouldn't come up in the captions because she's so almost inaudible in the background. It was only coming up with his captions and the 999 dispatcher, the 999 operator. One as well, so I'd always struggled to hear it, but obviously different now that I'm hearing it on the PC. And yes, Georgie, he got a 28-year sentence. She got a 10-year sentence. She was told that she was going to serve half of that, but given the time on remand, she would get out in after serving 4 years. But it's just, Andy had told us the biological father, she is actually in an open prison and gets day release. She'll most likely be released in December because she meets the criteria of the Sentencing Review, the Sentencing Act in 2026. I agree. Yes, this December, Amna. I agree, Karen. Thank you for commenting as well, because I wanted to find you because you had asked if I would say this. Those texts, well, it was actually Facebook messages, but I think yeah, those should have come up in court. The fact that she will she get back in contact with her? How she? I don't know. Thank you so much for the heart me, Kelly. I don't know if she'll get in contact. I seriously doubt it. I'm sure if she got back in contact with Andy, he would certainly have a few things to say, and he would probably get he would get charged for whatever it was that he wanted to he probably would love to say to her. But yep, she's got to get to live her life like normal after this. And she is going to move on like nothing happened. Right, I'm going to play the rest of that. It's a minute and 41 seconds left. So you'll be able to hear her talking as well, for those that didn't hear it to start with, or those that haven't heard it before as well. Well, her name's Gemma Barton, but she'll most likely come under a new name. That's all I know. And I think that's all everyone got to know. She'll probably get a newish identity, and she'll get moved to somewhere that she probably isn't known. Because I know that the general public, well, I certainly don't believe the lie. Yeah, they'll give her a new ID. It's part of the same as well. Mirangels, it's true, they shouldn't allow a name change or change area, let everybody know. I agree as well, but you know, the court said that she wasn't guilty of murder or manslaughter, and this was all part of a coercive control situation, and that's how it happened. And I'm shaking my head because I don't believe any of it. Like I said, and Andy didn't have to share those private messages with me in the slightest. I'm grateful for him that he did. And just to say, I'm obviously allowing comments to go through. There is comments that get automatically filtered by TikTok, and there's nothing that I can do. If I don't see that a comment's got the eye with a line through it, then I can't catch it straight away. And it'll be the same for the mods as well. Thank you so much for the heart me. So let me play the last minute and 41 seconds of this so you can hear the rest.
Processing that for you.
Sorry, go on, sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to stay on the line with you until help can be with you, okay?
Hello?
Hello there. Okay, so help's been organised for you. We're sending someone to assist you. Okay, is there anything else we can do for you or your family?
I don't know. He was fine at 5 o'clock.
Okay, you say he was fine at 5 o'clock?
Yeah, he woke me up at 5, crying, and doing a little moan. So I came in and checked on him, and he was curled up at the top of his bed, and so I moved him back down, made him comfy, stroked his face, and he went back to sleep, and I went back to bed. When I went to the toilet first, went back to bed, and I could still hear him doing a little moan, like his little settling down, talking. We call it talking to himself. Yeah. And then that was it. Jesus, it's not the landline. I haven't got the landline. Sorry.
Okay. Can I just take his name?
It's Jacob Crouch.
Okay, so just hold the line for me one moment. I'm just going to seek some guidance for you. Just stay on.
There you go. I thought I'd play it again. And you know, randomly, that's got that my PC's allowing that to play so clear that I could actually hear the background of another 999 call going on at the time as well. So that was actually said. She's actually only going to be on license for 5 years. Nosy. I'm trying to be careful because I've shared a lot of swearing today. TikTok might get annoyed at me eventually, but to be fair, like I keep saying, I'm on an over 18 account and I'm on over 18 live, so if they think that it's wrong, like it was like I know that over 1.6 million of you have seen the arrests video on that I shared, and because obviously I was talking about it at the time, and many of you saw it when I was actually live initially talking about it, because that was when the day that they had been sentenced. But even during when you hear the 999 call and then when you watch the arrest, how false that crying is. Like, just in general, how very, very, very false that crying is. It's not, I still don't see it as real tears. I still don't see it as anything about this is real. Yeah, crying because I got caught. Yeah, pretty much. And there was, obviously I have discussed this. I don't want to re-traumatize Andy every time that I'm talking about this. I know he was happy to be here. I don't know if he's still in the comments, or I don't know if he's still watching. I can only imagine that hearing this a lot would be upsetting towards him. So, and obviously it's been upsetting for a lot of other people to obviously hear as well. I am very much you will hear about you when I talk about things. You will. I try to be as respectful as possible to a degree, but in regards to victims, I'll always be incredibly respectful, incredibly so. And we should always remember this little boy's face because it was absolutely adorable. That big smile, despite everything that he was going through. Like, genuinely, that new smile, that big smile, despite all the pain and everything that was happening to him, he still smiled, no matter what. And it shows just how strong that little boy actually was. Despite everything, he was still smiling, he was still happy. Even the pictures that Andy sent, that he was getting sent as well, from the womb. All the pictures were of a happy little boy. You never saw, like, sad, pensive, upset, or nothing. They obviously had trips to a farm where he's getting to see the llama, not the llamas, the sheep and stuff, you know. So, like, does in general seem to be a happy boy, but then it's the same, isn't it the same with everything? Every time one of these kind of things come out, always the good is shared and never the bad. And it's horrible. Now, I've got a very quick, only 10 months old. Now, it's little teeth. I'm going to share a very quick update in regards to something that I know a lot of people have been following, and I promised, I'm sorry to take it away for Jacob. Obviously, I hope that Andy felt this live was just as respectful as the last one that I'd obviously done of him. And Andy knows that my mailbox is always open if he wants to have a chat anyway, or if he wants me to share anything, he's more than welcome to do so. So we probably know, and it's just a quick change, we probably know now. So it has been confirmed that this is the man that thank you for the follow, Emma, that is accused or charged now, officially charged, it was officially charged yesterday, of the murder of Anne Widdecombe. Now, all we know about him, really. Yes, on you go on, Adele. Thank you for the follow, Katie, and thank you so much for the heart, me. Now, what we know about this man, that he's 28-year-old, and I've just lost his name. That's amazing. Joshua Carey. It was the first name that I'd got thingy of. He was arrested last week, obviously, at his home. Well, Yeah, on the 11th. Why does that feel like... I don't think it is a scapegoat, but I can understand why people are saying so. So ultimately, what they have found, although no official cause of death has been, he has been the only person that's charged for it. There's no other person that they believe that is connected with the murder at all. No official cause of death has been announced. They are still looking through this. And what they have said is that they went to... Thank you so much for the rose, Tara. It is believed that he walked through and Widdicombe's front door. At the time, she was sitting having lunch in her kitchen, and he proceeded to strike her, potentially, was silenced. He proceeded to attack her. Now, they have said that it was a hammer. So it looks like the pole stick thing that you saw in that video looks like now we know it's now we believe it's a hammer. And there was at least 21 hammer blows to the head. But the official cause of death is yet to be announced. That is still being investigated. But at least 21 hammer blows to the head. When he was leaving, he knocked over a chair, and he also stole her purse from her handbag. Yes, 21. There will be more news to follow in regards to this. It's still, and as I will say this to the death, still very much an active and ongoing investigation. There may be other charges brought against him, but they haven't made that decision as of yet, because they're still obviously looking into the other things that were found as evidentiary from his property. These things do take a time to process. This case is still very much in its infancy. He did appear, but made no plea. So he's currently been held on demand. So, okay, so this is why they know that it was. So, a doorbell camera captured the suspect's red Vauxhall Corsa pulling up outside the property the court heard. A camera positioned in the hallway showed a 78-year-old politician sitting down eating lunch in her kitchen before the defendant entered via the front door and asked her, "Don't you suppose you have bank cards and ID?" He is alleged to have struck her 21 times on the head with a hammer before tipping her out of the chair and onto the floor. And that was, of course, when Miss Widdicombe was discovered face down on the kitchen floor the following day by a gardener who had been asked to check on the former Conservative prisons minister after she missed an interview scheduled for the 5th of July. A provisional cause of death was given as blunt force injury to the head. Kerry, who used to work for a lift company, lived with his dog in a house on the estate in Kimberworth Park area of the town. According to reports, neighbours claimed they'd rarely seen him in the public since the death of his father last December. His mother, a former teaching assistant, is believed to have moved away. His two brothers are understood to have left the area, with one joining the Navy. Thank you for the follow. Sense, and of course user. So Emma, do you know what? I said the same thing. I've seen the WhatsApp messages, obviously. For whatever reason, TikTok don't think that the WhatsApp images are clear enough to be I'm very surprised. Thank you for the follow, White Rabbit. I'm very surprised after this. Very, very, very surprised after this. Amazing. Let me know if there's any issues. Hi, Anne. Could you please join the Zoom now, please? Then the... Oops. Then the... voice call. everything okay? And then the two other voice calls. I'm very surprised. Oh, no, that's my mother. Let me go. Ugh. I swear TikTok's been naughty to me today. I'm having issues all day. But I am surprised that nobody had called this in previously, given the fact that she was 78-year-old. And yep, 21 blows as she sat on the chair until pushed off in the kitchen, yes. I am surprised at the police in general for claiming that this was initially due to a fall and then changed it. I sense it was something in establishment. Potentially. They've still said they don't know if it was politically motivated or if it was terrorism motivated. They're still under a line of investigation because evidence suggests potentially terrorism motivated. Emma, I think that's what boggles everybody's mind as well, that it might not have been straight away. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. But yeah, like I said, this is still very much ongoing. We're going to get very little information, and I totally agree with that. That with any active investigation, I was careful. This was the first time I actually shared a picture of him and his name out with private messages actually, because although I had seen the pictures when I was last live 3 days ago now, I said that I was waiting until yesterday before obviously saying his name, just in case it got it wrong. It does make you think of the Jill Dando case, which has still never been formally solved, which is a shame. She does deserve, but in this occasion, it does appear that something is actually happening, and this one will be solved. And it looks like Anne's going to get the justice that she deserves, and I very much hope she does, because she deserves justice. And that Heather, what's her pass? I hope that she gets in trouble as well for the things that she said after and when it comes death too. And I also hope the video that her and her friends did, that is on YouTube somewhere. No, all we've seen is what the Sun actually put out, and the Sun put out the video of him getting in the car, and initially was just a very blurred distance CCTV of getting them in, but the picture came from somewhere where he was getting arrested and put in the back with no shirt on. So I don't know if it was the Sun that put it out. To be fair, when the Sun puts things out, I always err on the edge of caution when it comes to the Sun, because I don't particularly trust them. I know they've got past histories of putting out false information or information to suit their narrative, and they'll never apologise or redact it or take back anything if it's been proven to be wrong. So I'm always cautious when it comes to the Sun. I'm always very careful when it comes to the Sun. I don't trust them. So yeah, thank you for the follow, Hayley. I know that some people will. Some people are happy because they get probably put out a little bit more information than what others do. But in this occasion, the picture of him was initially shared by the Daily Mail. And then the Daily Record, then the Sun, then the Telegraph, and so on and so forth until it all went round. But the Express did initially post it, and then they took it down. So obviously, but at the time when this was initially being shared, he was never formally charged. We knew it was going to happen, or we knew he was going to be formally charged on yesterday. So in my view, let's stick to what the police are saying and don't share things just in case it's misinformation as well. But That's up to them if they have, like, I'm not a journalist or anything like that. I just talk on true crime. So if my morals will stop me from sharing things that haven't been confirmed for the police, I don't understand why journalistic integrity didn't come into place when sharing that information. Does it appear that it has, Emma, admitted to anything at all? It just said that he confirmed his full name and date of birth. No, not anything else. So it's a case of waiting and seeing, and I completely agree. We have to be careful. We have to not speculate. I know there's been a creator on the app saying that there was a second person involved in it. I also know that there was another that they were claiming that they lived with somebody, etc. But it was confirmed that he lived on his own since his father died. So again, it's that whole just be careful. Yes, and of course, and Nosy Bastard, you're absolutely 100% right. As any lawyer, public or private, would tell them to keep their fucking mouth shut. In other words, well, maybe not in that language, but they would tell them say no comment and don't answer the questions. I mean, I can only imagine what being held for over 7 days, getting grilled for, would be like. Well, it actually worked out as 9 days because I got rearrested on last Monday for them to get that 7-day extension, of course, as well. So I mean, it's been a very long time, but hopefully Anne gets the justice she deserves, because nobody deserves to be killed in their own home just because they've maybe got a difference of opinion. Not in the slightest. Especially not a pensioner who couldn't. Most pensioners, not all, but most pensioners can't. This is going to sound cruel, but I mean, I can't either. I know for a fact that I wouldn't be able to fight my way out of a wet paper bag, and I'm sure that would be the case of most people as well. And a pensioner, a 78-year-old, did not deserve any of this to happen to her at all. It was utterly horrific, utterly horrible. But be careful what you're sharing. Be careful what is being shared in general. It's the same when I've talked about the Siders case from Ohio. Be careful what you're putting out there. Be careful you're not putting any misinformation or too much speculation as well. I am fully aware that one day when I was live, I was just like, so let's kid on. There had been I do as well. I kind of do as well. But, you know, the way she was so out the way, and it was such a quiet little place. Nothing ever happened. And, yeah, most pensioners can't. I completely agree. I do. I kind of wish that she locked the door as well. It's actually horrible. And did not deserve this at all. That poor woman. I can only imagine how utterly terrified that she was. But it seems that they do have the proof, and that's a wonderful thing at the moment with ring cameras, etc. The fact that they were able to get. I'm just going to read this back out to you just again. What the cameras actually caught. Yeah, she was a little old lady. Such a power force, but just a little old lady. Because she ultimately was. She was 78. Imagine that was somebody's granny, do you know? It has said, obviously, the CPS Special Crime and Counterterrorism Division said, we have decided to prosecute Joshua Kerry for the murder following a police investigation into the death of Anne Widdicombe and Heather Dartmoor. Police inquiries into the defendant's motives are ongoing, including a potential political or terrorist connection. Our prosecutors have worked closely with the police to establish there is sufficient evidence to bring this case to court, and will continue working with them as their investigations progress. We remind all concerned that proceedings against the defendant are active and he has a right to a fair trial. It's vital there should be no reporting, commentary or sharing of information that could in any way prejudice these proceedings. The defendant appeared in Westminster Magistrates Court on Tuesday, today, where prosecutors allege he hit Anne Widdicombe 21 times in the head with a hammer. That's true, Nosy Bastard. It is very true what you just said. People do get thing, and a doorbell captured the suspect's red Vauxhall Corsa pulling up outside the property the court heard, a camera positioned in the hallway showed the 78-year-old politician sitting down eating lunch in her kitchen before the defendant entered via the front door and asked her, "Don't suppose you have any bank cards and IDs?" He is then alleged to... It is awful, I agree. But yeah, because that's ultimately what they're saying as well. They caught unawares. He was then alleged to have struck her 21 times on the head with a hammer before tipping her out of a chair and onto the floor. And he also stole her purse from her handbag. Trophy? They do say that they do. But yeah, he lived on his own. Thank you for the follow, A-Debs. He lived on his own. He never lived with anybody. There's nobody else that's been questioned over this. There's not a greater threat to the public. There is, of course, probes in whether or not there has been targets from the alleged perpetrator for other suspects. And it's been widely talked about that there has been meetings in Westminster and in Holyrood regarding whether or not, I'm not sure about Wales and Ireland, that's obviously, that's not been shared, but whether or not there needs to be greater protection and security towards other politicians, and could there be more that's targeted. But that's obviously only part of the process of anything like this. When somebody in a political field is Night Nosy Bastard, thank you so much for being here as well. I appreciate everybody that does pop in, of course. But we won't know anymore. It's going to be a long time, and it may not go to court for a while as well. Yeah, as we are 100%. Yes, he should get life, I agree. Life out I was going to say life out possibility of parole, like what happens in the UK, but obviously that's somewhat, I don't know how US, sorry, but then that's obviously someone. Yes, that's true. Somebody did try to shoot Trump. I do believe that was more than once he had been attempted to be assassinated. And there is going to be some people that did, but it is believed that the suspect was caught on camera in Anne's home. And you know the camera never lies. And if they have that, I don't ever imagine that will get fully released to the public, of course. But I imagine maybe him arriving and walking into May. But that is evidentiary footage that will not be shared with the public at all, or released, or even a FOIA request could never ask to see that, because that's evidence. Full stop, it is evidence, it won't get shared to the public. So we'll find out more when this goes to trial, and given the fact that the CPS have agreed to go to trial, there must be enough evidence. Absolutely, obviously not professional, otherwise we would shut me. Yeah, or you just probably never realised it was there. People do not really quite understand the day and age that we live in, and getting caught, or maybe want to be caught. There is always that. Maybe you never intended really for it to go potentially, for all we know, maybe you never intended it to go as far as this. Maybe it was an attempt of a fear or scaremongering or something along those lines. You know, we're never going to know. We can speculate until the cows come home, and we can say all the what ifs. But to be fair, we'll never know. Well, Debs, they believe it was a targeted attack. So that's why he's driven all that way. Her house was seen on a show about when she was showing Antiques only 5 days prior to that, which is not her fault as well. And you would be able to find it on Google Maps without it coming up as a search as well, because it was Withercomb's Rest, which had been highly known now as well. I have a camera in my house, only room. I don't have one in the bathroom. I'm at the point where I'm thinking about investing in cameras myself. I may be, lucky, like touch wood, that nothing's ever happened to me, but then you never know what somebody's nefarious motives are. And actually, Mirangels, I think it was thanks to you for saying nefarious, because that's what that's probably what popped into my head as well. Why is that not even allowing me to approve? Ah, there we go. It wasn't allowing me to approve a comment there. But some people do want to become notorious, and they only want to get and only get nefarious. That's very true. It is strange, everything about it. You know, he was seen as the quiet type, but then don't they say you always have to watch the quiet types? I've got cameras in my front room and kitchen and door. I live on my own. Only cheap online should get. Yeah, but it's been a thought of mine for a while. I had an issue a few years ago where I had the window tapper for a while. And then I spoke to the police. And they said that luckily there's a camera that obviously goes near my front door. And they were able to pick the person up on camera. Unfortunately, he was never identified. But I had the window tapper. He went away for a while and then came back. And it just so happened at the time that he came back, he was actually spotted on CCTV outside. So I don't know what happened. I just let the police deal with it. They've got it all. They've got it all on record. They all know what happened. I've got a direct number to get. Well, I say a direct number, but I've got a number to get in contact with if anything should happen again. And it obviously just goes towards the log of what had happened. But I was initially, and now I can talk about it because it's been a couple of years since anything's happened, to be fair. But yeah, I've had that before. I think that's why when I had somebody coming into the lives and asking me like really random personal questions, it kind of threw me a little bit because it was quite a, excuse me, what? That had nothing to do with you. So, but again, it could just have been somebody that was trying to like freak me out or scare me off or anything like that. But yeah, it's one of those things. Thank you so much for the rose. But listen, that's all I'm going to cover. I've got a photo. I'm absolutely knackered because I've been on for a while. Thank you so much for the roses as well. Oh yeah, Randall's absolutely fine. I thank you for the follow, Gail. I mean, but people, if they want to intimidate somebody, they'll find their ways to do so. It is horrible. It sounds like Anne had never had that problem, but thank heavens that she had cameras. It's a really good way to catch somebody out in this day and age. But I do think cameras are so cheap and cheerful to get now. I even think a TikTok shop actually sell cameras as well, ring doors as well as the little ones that try to magnetically stick to your windows and stuff as well. But they're always handy to have. And you don't need a subscription because it still stays for 30 days on the cloud. So, which was quite an interesting thing to find out as well. But yeah, I mean, I am gonna call it for tonight. I'm hoping to get some information regarding the David Anthony Burke preliminary hearing that started today. And I'm also hoping that the Lindsay... Oh, no, you're absolutely fine, Tara. I appreciate you being here. You don't need to apologise for being late coming in at all. Never feel you do. But I think that the full jury has been selected for Lindsay Clancy now as well. And I do think that there's been some way of an update in the court with Courtney Bartholomew, but again, it's something that I need to look at. Thank you for the follow, Trisha. But I am, if I do have an abundance of information that has come from the David Anthony Burke preliminary, because thank you for the follow, Lorraine, because there's no media or cameras allowed in there. Yeah, I probably should, Kez, just in case somebody decides, oh, well, we hate her because she's covered this and we're very angry. See, I don't know if it's pretty obvious, but I try to stay away from specific Edinburgh and stuff cases. I do on my Discord, I share stuff like that in the Discord, but there's only a handful of people in there, so it's fine. but I try and stay away from covering some specific cases, especially in around the Edinburgh and the sort of Glasgow area, just in case somebody decides, oh, we've got to take a grudge against this person and we're going to do stuff. So I probably should get a camera. You're totally right. It's all right. I've got Chris at the moment he'll protect me. It's okay. And if push come to the shove and I felt like I was going to be in danger of any harm, I do have a nice cosplay bat. But just for cosplay, I've got like a cool light up mask and gloves and stuff, and I've got a baseball bat. I'm sure if I swung it hard enough, it is cosplay. I've had it for cosplay. I've only ever had it for cosplay. Full disclaimer, that is not for any bad purposes in the slightest. So if the police do hear this, I promise you that I do not have it for any other reason other than the fact that I do like to dress up and I do like to cosplay a little bit, and I love Halloween and stuff. So I've got a purge mask and I've got a baseball bat and I've got gloves, right? But just for the police, just for a wee police disclaimer, and if anything ever happens where I end up hitting somebody over the head with a bat that's next to my bed, it's purely for the cosplay. It's purely for cosplay only. It actually genuinely is. It purely is. I mean, I'll need to shoot one day when I'm live. I'll show you the light up mask and the light up gloves because they're fun. And I've got a baseball bat as well that I'd obviously bought for the whole thing, and then realised my work might not appreciate me walking into work dressed up in that with a baseball bat in my hand. They might have something to say, so I had to change my Halloween costume like last minute. But no, literally that's the only reason why I have a baseball bat, I promise. But if ever push comes to the shove and I thought I was going to be injured, I totally would resort to that. But then, to be fair, I've got like I'm a crafter. So like I've got like crafting blades, and that's just a crafting instrument. You know, if I thought I was under any danger or somebody, thank you so much for the heartbeat. Or if I thought I was going to okay, I'm getting better at making sure my door's locked as well. But we do have safety on the doors and stuff. So it's not like my house is like very accessible. But no, if push comes to shove and I heard somebody coming into my house, I say, I hope you're well, I totally would like go, well, I'm only doing it for my own protection, and if that person comes at me first with a weapon, then I'm going to do that first, aren't I? They're not going to know that I've got anything, and I'm going to walk about in the dark, because I know my house by walking about with my eyes shut. So I'm not going to turn on any lights. I'm going to do all that things. But no, like, you know, and generally seriousness, I think that's that person when they were like, oh, do you live alone? I think they were just trying to throw me off in regards to what I was talking about, and it kind of sort of worked a little bit. But I'm thankful for the mods for like backing me up there as well. Listen, I need to start saying this a bit more often. Like I keep saying, you need to follow each other. Please do in the comments. I'd start going back to that at the start and at the end again, because I realised that I've not been. Yous are all amazing. Yous come and watch me blithering a lot of shite all the time. And some of the mods that I have in here, like, I couldn't be without yous. I really couldn't. I know that all of yous have got a life, so I would never, ever, ever expect anybody to come to every single one. So please never apologise if you miss, or say sorry if you're late at all. Everybody has a life, and a life doesn't evolve around the person like me talking a lot of shite. Thank you for the go popular, Sarah. So you'd live, the life doesn't evolve around me. You would never be indebted to stay watching me every single time. So but I do appreciate everybody that does come in. You know, you're actually amazing. I thank you all again for the mods for all your work tonight. Honestly, I saw the amount that you were dealing with. Again, if you've been muted and unmuted, it's nothing mean. It's just purely for the fact that we need to be careful. And I did have a victim's father, biological father, in the live tonight as well when I was discussing his son's case. So I just wanted to keep it as respectful as possible. Not everybody wants to hear everybody's direct anger views, especially when they can only imagine the amount of anger they were going through, and the anger and hurt that they still go through, and especially knowing that she might get out early. So I'd like to thank you all. I know that Jacob's case is such a sad case and it's a difficult one to listen to, and some of you's made it all the way through to the end, and I thank you. Thank you for being respectful. Thank you for all the taps. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the shares, because I did see that sharing out as well. And thank you, of course, for all the follows. If I do have an abundance of information for tomorrow, I will pop on live, but it does mean that Thursday, Friday there will be no live, but only if there's an abundance of information that's coming from a couple of things. I will try and do some more videos, because I've not done a video in a couple of days. And just remember that my DMs are open if you ever want me to cover anything. Obviously, but speaking to Andy, that's why and with the update, that's why I wanted to come live. And then, of course, Karen had dropped me a message asking me if I would. So I'm not opposed to covering the case if you do. If I can't, for whatever reason, I'll be very honest with you, and a reason why I won't cover it. But I would certainly try my best to do so. So just remember, my inbox is open, even if it does mean that I have to accept the request. But Monday, Friday, but look. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Like I said, if I'm live tomorrow, then it'll be fine, but we'll see. But thank you, everybody. You all have an amazing evening. Thank you again for all being here. I will see you on the main streets of TikTok, and take care of yourselves, everybody. Good night.